Hello friends, welcome to Mizora, your one-stop solution to learn problem-solving methodologies and tools to solve real-life business problems. Today I'm going to share with you an overview of the problem-solving methodologies. You may already have come across all this in different broadly problem-solving methodologies. You might have already know a brief of this. So what I'm going to tell you is the interconnection between this. So Six Sigma can be one, right? Then theory of constraints and PDCA. So let's take these three simple problem solving methodologies as example and see how you can use all these things in your day-to-day activities, right? So suppose Six Sigma, if you see, there are majorly, if you follow DMAC or DFSs, there are two types of methodologies. So DMAC is where you divide a project into 5 stages. The first one is the define stage. Define, then measure, analyze, improve, and control, right? And in terms of TOC is not so well known, but if you see, it is not so difficult to understand. It is simply, if I put in the simplest of way, so this is about, the first one is identify. The first one is identify. This is theory of constraints. So we talk always about constraints here. So identify the constraint, right? First one. Then exploit the constraint, subordinate, then elevate the constraint, and then finally prevent inertia of becoming the constraint. So let's write only prevention here, right? PDCA is simple in terms of P actually stands for, it is even, plan, do, check, and act, right? So if you see the define, everywhere you have to define the problem first. Here we are calling it a problem. Here more or less we are calling it a constraint. Constraint is something like a bottleneck in a process. Suppose the traffic congestions in a particular traffic signal can be example of a constraint. So it's a bottleneck. So you have to exploit that bottleneck. So here the exploitation and all those, you can call it measure and analyze stage. The methodologies though are different after that. Here we subordinate everything to improve this constraint. So to improve this traffic signal, we subordinate everything to it. The way you would have seen in traffic signals, if there is a congestion, something, they use some other roads beside it, right? Then here improve is how you improve that input which is not currently efficient enough to give you the right results, and here we call it elevate. So we elevate the constraint here, right? Then prevention of inertia, I won't talk much on this now. This is a little complex once you move ahead, but prevention, this is sort of prevention of the inertia, means the inertia of getting that constraint again, right? And here similarly you can see the control is there. PDCA is again simple, plan. So we are talking about identify, exploit, subordinate, all this in the planning stage of it. Then you do it exactly, right? So when you improve this, that is, you're doing it, right? Then check, and then finally act. And this is a cycle which comes back to the same first phase, right? Now linking all this together, let me tell you broadly how I use my process. right? So let me pick another some color for this thing. Okay, right? So what I do is, whenever I come across any process or anything, any bottleneck, anything, whatever I find, right? So my idea is, the first step for me is identify the problem you can see elsewhere. Then the next one is find prepare a roadmap for this, right? Roadmap can be equivalent to a charter in Six Sigma and all, but I call it roadmap for simpler understanding. Then I plan how to improve it, the solution stage and all. Then I execute. Execution is another project completely. Execute the project. Then I sustain the result for few months, right? 2 to 3 months. You have to overview it, and then finally you hand it over to the right authorities, right? So this is broadly what I follow for any process problem I face in my work area. You can also follow the same. This is a quite simple one, and more you follow this channel, you will get to know more about these steps, what I do and what I don't do, right? So that's about this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank you.